Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki. Today we have a battle against NY718, and this is the first of Season 18. And so in this season it's still pretty much the same as last season, maybe the last couple of seasons. We have the Control Global, which almost everyone's going to place all the time, and we're at the point where we've done enough fights against all of these different champions that it's pretty routine now, and we have our strategies pretty much down, and there's not too many new champions that we have to worry about because nothing's really come out into the game that's been a great defender. So it's sort of an interesting time in that I think this season will be defined by probably a lot of really low death counts and really close matches. So I'm on Path 9, which is, I believe, going to be my path this season, and I've done a lot of gameplay on this already. Not too exciting a path, just because it's the reverse controls, but with Mysterio and Emma, of course, the reverse controls really don't matter. With them, you can, of course, they override that with their synergy. Also bringing in Quake, she ends up being a great attacker because, again, she doesn't hit at all, so you never have to worry about control if you're never hitting the opponent. And so, again, my standard team, probably will imagine I'm running them a lot this season, and off I go. So my first path is actually Path 5, but it's totally empty. So as I am not one of the better fighters in the battle group, I definitely get the easy duty in these wars, and so that's it's good for the Alliance. I like the tricky fights. I can miss past 7 just because of the difficult fights, but I just die a lot on them. So fair enough, off to the easy path I go. So the first day is pretty easy. All I have to do is just walk around and not worry about the fights. And so we're playing NY718, which of course has a KT1 as a member. He's in the same battle group I'm in, BG3. So there he has a Medusa, and just going around looking at all the other defenders. His Stark Spider-Man, or no, it's still Spider-Man, is there in one of the sub minis. And a couple other people I know from this battle group. We've played NY718 enough that I sort of recognize all the names like Leo and T. Sully and WP Gladiators. I believe he is one of my old J11 mates, and the Waffler, I just remember his name now, just I've seen it so many times. So it's pretty interesting to be playing these same alliances a lot. And of course, matchmaking this season is going to be much different just because we have a much higher war rating than we did last season, so we expect to fight a lot of the more powerful alliances. So my first fight is against T. Sully's Korg. Last time we played New York, I fought against him too. I go in with the lesser attack boost as well as a 30%. I'd actually use the 30% for Alliance Quest, just since I knew I was boosting him as day 5. I figured I might as well put it on and do those fights before I came over to war. And then of course I have my just buy the red and the gold boosts. I haven't really bought the 6-hour boost too much. Somehow having those boosts last for 6 hours if I have to heal up or totally revive a character, I feel like they cost more than they're worth. I mean, for the 60 units I have to spend to buy them, I'd rather let them run out and have more options. And maybe I have to buy another 2, but for me that's easier. So I do have a combat regen boost in the overflow. I probably would use one here anyway, just because between hitting his rock shield and just having to block so much, it's good just to get the extra regen. So my normal strategy in this, so I fought him enough that I'm pretty well set my strategy. There I sort of check myself hitting into his block. Boy, at first he really doesn't seem like he wants to throw his heavy at all, so luckily I can counteract his combo there that he threw, and then now he's starting to throw the heavy. Throws his SP1, but that's fine. I go right back into diamond form, but you can see I've already taken 10% damage just from blocking and rock shield. The shield shatters, and now I'm going to throw my SP1. The problem with the way I'm playing him is I'm not parrying that much. And if I'm not parrying, I'm not building up prowesses. So I probably wouldn't mind rethinking that. I always want to make sure I throw my SP2 when he has his rock shield and it's been shattered, just because then it will do a lot more damage. If not, his rock shield can absorb a lot of it. So it's unblockable, and I almost dodge all 3. I still haven't really quite mastered the SP1 dodge yet, and so that's something I need to work on. And shield is shattered again, so I'm going to throw my SP2, and this time I have 0 of the prowess charges. But I still do a 27,000 crit on the second hit, so I still managed to do a good bit of damage, and now it's pretty close. And thought about dodging it, but then I saw it wasn't unblockable, so I just went ahead and blocked it. It's a little more safe. And again, he's just sort of slow playing, which is fine. I'm just waiting my chance. Again, he throws a full combo and I can counteract it. Yeah, but he's been really defensive in this mode, and so yeah, it just took me a little bit of time. Again, another SP2, again 0 paralysis, but 13,000 for my first crit, and the rest is history. So it worked pretty well. Again, it's a fight I've been used to. Emma, I love playing with Emma. I think she's a really awesome character, and yeah, I'm actually pretty excited I get to use her a fair amount and more. So the second fight was Ebony Maw. So I was really worried about Ebony Maw. He is a tricky character. He's a good defender. He is in control, so I could use Emma and Mysterio, but you know, Taters, our sort of war leader, asked me to use Quake. And so I did a lot of duels just to try to get the rhythm of fighting him. I'm going to do parry style. Of course, my controls are reversed with this lane, and so you know, Quake's already complicated enough, and I was worried with the reverse controls too that was really going to cause trouble. And so worried about this fight. Wanted to do well on it. Dueled a lot. My duels were okay, but not that great. I had a pretty big losing streak going. Maybe like the first 10 times I lost every fight, and then I sort of managed to kill him 3 out of 4. Like with all these champions, it's good to do duels if you can, just to get the rhythm of them. And so, of course, with all the duels now, I have to reverse everything I've done because of the reverse controls. So yeah, it's going to be one of those fights where I was extremely nervous about. I wait out the combat regen to expire because I want to put an invulnerability boost on. You know, just to be sure. I don't have too many of these boosts. I mean, this is my 4th one, but you know, in the first war I just didn't want to die. So as Dreamin said in his war video, it's better to overboost. I mean, once you run out, you run out, but until then you might as well see what happens. So I'm sort of stepping back, trying to be, you know, again, very cautious, just going backwards as he comes at me. I'm going to try to do the parry style. Luckily I managed to get the aftershock, and he goes back, and I go ahead and throw the heavy to have him retreat. Can't do that too many times, but you see him actually start using Quake style some, and there I dodged the heavy, which I've been practicing a lot. And all that's reverse control, so the fight was really quick and really easy, and yeah, I was happy, but you know, it's one of those things where it can look good or it can look really, really bad. Fights, but I do have a special guest today, and that's PandamanPete. So PandamanPete, the Ghost Father, is coming in with his ghost, and he's on the Aegis Heavy path, which is Path 9, Section 1. So he puts on some pretty big boosts, puts on a tech power boost, I guess is what you call it, and he's on the Aegis Heavy node. So it's interesting watching his strategy here. So I believe he's going to back up at first because he's actually trying to heavy counter Rogue and not crit her, because if you crit her, of course, she gets that power gain because she's a control champion. So he just lets her miss a few times, builds up his power, and he's just sort of going backwards. I think just trying to actually let his phase run off so that way he can counterattack her heavy with his heavy. So there, he's against the wall, does get hit a couple of times, but doesn't do too much damage luckily. And there it is, so he counteracts the heavy, no crit. And so Ghost gives a guaranteed crit, I believe, when she has the precision up. So there she does, and he does crit. She gets the power flood, but he manages to counteract that with the parry. He still needs to get one more heavy attack out, and so he does. Again, it makes her crit again, and so now he just launches his SP2. Huge damage, of course, and look at that power gain from the tech boost. She has her SP3 now, but he launches it again, and then he gets immediately into the SP2 again, so he's just spamming SP2, and he kills her. So really, really cool strategy, of course. PandamanPete, one of the many geniuses in our battle group and in our lines, and has this really creative kill. So thank you, PandamanPete, for letting me showcase your fight. So that's the end of this season. We did win, so we're off to a good start, 1-0. You know, there's a lot of us posting more videos. I know Taters is, Hanach, and Dreamin, so go check out their videos. I think I put the link down in the description, and I'll be back for the next war video. Next one is against Kenobi, and so yeah, always a huge challenge to fight them, so we'll see how we do against them. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.